tonight we have an interesting one on hand. We have EDR versus RDNN. And we're gonna be looking at what those teams can perform. For the people that might not know, I'm just gonna briefly recap. RDNN versus EDR is a match in Group D of the tournament. We have an interesting one on hand. We have EDR. I have stream feedback, and that should be out now. Yeah, Group D, only one match has been played before. That was Ocean versus RDNN, which resulted in a 3-0 victory for RDNN, if my memory serves me right.
It was indeed, still, and hello.
Oh, am I mistaken if I make the statement that this is the first Niagara, or is this the second Niagara we've seen so far?
I think it's the first one. I'm not totally sure, but I think it is.
I've missed a few matches.
Reposition. Well, positioning is pretty good, in fact.
It seems exactly equal, so...
Yeah, at 1 or 2 meters.
If both teams are fine with this, I'd almost say just give them the go. In the meantime, I'm gonna do a brief assessment of the ships we have here today. First up is Shaftos, familiar name with his carronade trink. Next up, Cerberus with full carronade loadout, and Tiedemann, I would be surprised if he has anything different. Nope, carronades all the way. Alright, both teams giving their go signal. Just waiting for the judge to confirm it, and then we're off. Niagara always equipped with carronades. Oh, plot twist. We have a plot twist. We're gonna have long guns versus carronades. Okay.
We are?
Yes, the French trinks are bringing long guns.
Nice.
It's always intriguing.
I think for most, I think you said that to me a few matches ago. Most matches with longs, actually, the longs lost. Except maybe a tie with the ugly team.
Mm-hmm.
Ugly made a tie.
And be reminded, folks who are watching, there was a change in the rules. Now the battle will last for almost 55 minutes instead of the normal 45. That was just done to to change some of the stuff, and in the future we'll be continuing on this course. It's the first tournament, it's live and learn, and we're currently seeing some EDR kiting. Nothing new at all here. The only thing we're seeing though is that the trinks from RDNN aren't sailing on the intercept course, they're kind of sailing on a... well... now they actually are turning. It seems either Enil isn't aware of his sail positioning, or... are you seeing that, Kair?
Yeah. And Pierre Sylvestre is going straight for them, but he has carronades, and yeah, the others are...
But do you see the sails of Sublime?
The sails of... wait.
He's not making a turn, but he has manual sails on.
Right. Indeed.
So if he continues like this, he'll just sail straight for Tiedemann. If I was in Tiedemann's position, I would steer gently right a bit. Just gently, so you'll end up right alongside him or ready to cut him off.
Indeed, he is going to, but oh, he put his sails back. He was, and he was losing speed, in fact.
Exactly. So, is it a mistake? Is it a play? I don't know.
I don't know.
Again, we're seeing though longs running downwind, and they're gonna do the left turn, the right turn, just to trying to get some shots in. But at the same time, EDR is gonna be in quite uncomfortable position as soon as Tiedemann can get his carronades in on Enil.
Yeah, they waited a long time to turn. They didn't try to go against the wind. Oh,
Even
they
more,
are.
even more so, Kirib is actually forced to turn upwind to get a broadside in,
Mm-hmm.
which not per se completely upwind, but at least uh, he has overshot beam reach, which is horrible for the speed of a Trink.
And we talked about it quite a bit in the past matches. Trinks are very good taking the wind, contrary to the surprise, which is very good to um, going in the wind. Well, not totally, but
At least more.
yeah.
Alright, and currently we're seeing the long gun dilemma. You're trying to stay at range, you're trying to get your kiting damage in, and at some point you're just gonna get caught up unless you kite to an extent at which you can, completely negate it. But Tiedemann will out damage Enil without question. Enil will have to turn upwind to get away from Tiedemann, and he'll just have shaft hose and Lockdoor on his ass.
Completely. And the problem is they are very close at the moment. The
Yep.
past teams that managed something with longs stayed really far away a lot longer, so it can be really dangerous at that point.
And it's
And
actually interesting problem because the EDR guys do have like a sale percentage advantage, especially when I think you look at Tiedemann, who's at 85.
Yeah.
Just the problem is um, they aren't completely running downwind. They're currently seeing like 30-ish degrees of downwind, which actually isn't maximum efficiency of their battle
Trink.
sails.
Yeah.
Of their Trink at this point. And now we can see the carronades doing their work. Kirib unable to do something, except for maybe doing a swiggle wiggle, getting a charge or double in on Tiedemann. But shaft toes.
Did he take almost 50% of his armor in two broadsides?
Yeah, roughly. Yeah, like a 5% damage before that, but mostly came from these two, of which shaft toes didn't even fully go in, if I saw it correctly. Lockdoor just lobbing some shots in between, and now it's a DPS match.
Very hard position for EDR at the moment, it seems.
Just trying to get a good view of it. And Tiedemann, I think, is more than happy to continue this. I mean, he knows his broadside, his left broadside, is heavier than the combined broadside of the two Trinks he's facing and part of, well, the Niagara carronades.
Indeed, and
So
Kair
with
is
ex-
screening.
which he has to at this point. But Enil has to get his left side in, or at least his right side out. But I don't think he'll be able to.
I'm really curious on this Niagara and how it could behave.
Tiedemann on fire. I'm actually thinking Kirib might have boarding modules on.
Oh, you think so?
Look at his crew. He has 360 crew. He has
Cool.
long guns. I doubt he'll just bring DPM material. Right? If you bring longs and you go in for a brawl, I don't know. You must have some kind of play, don't you think? I mean, Enil's just gonna get focused down now.
I've been really surprised by some teams using those lately those models like Ugly did the previous match. I wouldn't be really surprised. Why not? Indeed, why not?
This is actually quite an awkward situation because Tiedemann is now going up against Kirib. Whilst Tiedemann's left is low, he can just disengage because there's plenty of room. Pierre Sylvestre de Villeneuve took a broadside from Tiedemann, maybe even to look at him. And then
Yeah.
we have Enil. Am I pronouncing that correctly? Enil?
Enail, I'm really not sure either. I think it's Enail, le sublime, but I'm not sure.
We'll just call him
Yeah.
Sublime.
Enail is fine, I would guess.
So yeah, what do you think EDR has to do to get out of this situation?
Well, it all depends if they do indeed have those those marines and boarding perks. If they do, well, they should maybe continue what they're doing at the moment, luring those RDNN guys into their trap, and when they have the opportunity, just jump on one and board him, and that would change the side of the battle.
Mm-hmm.
However, if they don't, it's a very hard call here. They can't take more speed at that point. They are probably gonna try and board. Look at that. They're forcing the way.
I actually don't think Shaftos will go in on the board. Just look at it. Enil, he's low. He can just fire a broadside or two and be done. I think he's just slowing down to get covering fire on Karib. As in, if Tiedemann speeds up and Shaftos slows down, that means Karib is gonna end up at the strong side of Shaftos, his right side. And I think he'll just walk into a broadside there. Maybe even get focused down by the three of them right now, if you look at the position.
Yeah.
Tiedemann just
In
absolutely...
fact, they were pushing in the opposite situation. I was thinking Enel was trying to push Shaft in the wind, but he was not. It was the contrary.
Karib gonna ram his teammate,
Yep.
take out his remaining side armor. Tiedemann just casually disengaging, no one pursuing, no danger whatsoever.
But they are now 2 versus 3. Well,
Yep.
3 versus 2. So
Enil has repaired, or at least popped his repair. Pierre has popped his repair. But, you know, Shaftos and I think Locktar, yeah, just look at the health pool.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he's really in bad shape too.
Yup. Yeah, his repair is gonna soon expire, and especially with Locktar just pounding away. Look at Tiedemann just casually coming back. No pressure, RDNN. At this, because if you're in such a match, right? I've experienced it myself. If I watch back some of the commentary, it's harder to perceive the actual situation because you don't have the actual vibe of the battle. It might sound silly,
True.
but when you guys, for example, observed that we were just split up, I was just saying, alright, guys, just sail away, and when I say go, do this, right? Complete control, at least in my head. When I look it back, without knowing that, it looks like shit. These guys are in trouble. And
It's not always the case, yeah.
I'm just wondering how those teams are perceiving it, because I think, it's my guess, that RDNN is like very comfortable. No rush. I mean, Pierre is absolutely trashed at this point. There's no way he's gonna recover from that.
I don't think so, indeed. But he's a good player. I know. I've seen him a bit fight. He's a good player, but I don't really understand the tactics he used. You're gonna tell me, but to me, the real interest of the Niagara versus a Cerberus is if you stick your Niagara versus, I don't know, a Trink. A Trink is so high on the water. If you get a Niagara close to her, he won't be able to fire at you, like not at all.
Just stay on the windward side, meaning the side of the Trink that's actually lifted up to the wind. You can just sit under its gun deck, pound away, and every one of those shots will cause a leak.
Exactly. And I haven't seen him even near a Trink for the entire match. So I think it's their first match. They're probably a bit disorganized and probably trying to feel the tournament. I don't think they've seen a lot of matches, and I'm saying that because I know Kair is one of the leaders of EDR, if not the leader of EDR, and he has a lot of paperwork going all the time. Well, you know, I know that of experience because he's in the council. So
Don't start about councils. It's a
no,
it's a
of
horror
course.
story. It's a
Of
naval
course.
action horror
But-
story.
Of course. But
Here
it's
we
just
go.
a way to you know, I think they're
Yeah.
feeling the thing. I'm not sure, but that's what I would say.
Well, he's like, he's a PvP, alright? He's seen
Yep.
plenty of battles. I've been an opponent of his plenty of times. They know what to do, right? And what I found interesting about this setup, and I think we're gonna lose the Niagara any second now. What I found interesting is that you're gonna combine two long gun setups with a carronade Niagara, which I understand what the clue is, right? You want to get some broadside damage in, which is good. It just is conflicting, right?
It
You're
is.
gonna have Trinks that are gonna try and stay at range, then you have a Niagara that's either gonna duel the enemy Cerberus or stay with the Trinks, the friendly Trinks. And
If it stays with the friendly Trinks, it won't do damage. If it
Exactly.
goes alone versus the three others, he'll get destroyed. Even if he sticks to one Trink, he'll get destroyed by the other ones. That will stay 10 meters away.
now the left side of Tiedemann is taking some proper damage. I think that was either double or charge. My guess would be charge because it just seemed to go in without problem, and there goes Niagara.
But that's 100 point for RDNN.
I think if Tiedemann can just keep his right to Enil and have Shaftos and Loktar move up on Enil, it's gonna take Kair maybe 2.5 minutes to get back there. It's gonna be a pain, and by that time I think it's safe to say that Le Sublime won't be alive anymore. Maybe with a bit of luck.
Probably. Well, he has his good side in Tiedemann's direction, so
True, but you have Shaftos and Hot Pursuit and Loktar.
True.
Loktar might actually be gonna try and just 1v1 Kirib at this point. I mean, the broadside weight of a carronade Cerberus is higher than a long medium broadside from a Trink.
Indeed it is. We've seen in the first matches duels between the Trink and Cerberus, and it was insane the amount of damage this Cerberus was able to do to a Trink. Quite
Quite sure.
surprising for me, in fact.
Well, the thing is, right? You're in frigates. Frigates are agile, maneuverable. So
True.
you already have that as general perks of this kind of combat, right? Line ship fighting, you can just dig in, get LIVO, get planking, get everything you want, and just reload reduction and blast away. Because people are content to just sit at each other's sides. This is really chasing combat and catching up to each other. Sometimes both parties are willing to go for that engagement, which you see in a carronade versus carronade loadout. But with long guns, we haven't seen any different mentality so far. As in, people still want to get in, or at least kite for one or maybe two broadsides, and then they are disinclined to actually exploit that advantage. I mean, theoretically, Tiedemann's at 84%. Obviously, he's low, so it's more appealing to shoot in his hull. But you could even argue, right? It's a bit late for that, but one could argue that 5 or 10 minutes ago, you just deny him shot at your side and just continue to shoot his sails, even though he's up close. Just wiggle, whatever you need, shoot at opportunity targets, just shoot at sails, and
True.
then. Sorry, yeah, go ahead.
No, thing is, you just said it. Even if you are getting hit in the hull, even if you need to be close, if you continue firing on his sails, at some point, you will be able to take this 500 meters you need to be out of his carronade's range, and then, he totally can't win if you just hit the hull at that point, you'll have plenty of time, especially since we had this little time adjustment.
Extension. Yeah.
So yeah, to me, you could still concentrate on sales and hope for the best, but it may be a bit late now, but Kair still has plenty of health. Problem is he won't have the DPS to down 2 ships to make it even.
Yep. I think you've said it. In a 2v2 situation, they're already getting outgunned, and as soon as Enil either sinks or has to disengage, Kair will be in the same situation.
Yep.
Tiedemann being low, but in no way. He doesn't need to pop his repair. He has a strong side towards the enemy. He has plenty of crew, plenty of sails. At this kind of engagement, because Enil's just turning towards him, Tiedemann will just do a casual right turn to completely keep his left out of the fray. I doubt that he would tag through the wind. Yeah, here comes a slight right turn. Enil is probably gonna take 1 broadside with a bit of luck if Tiedemann can get his guns reloaded. Regardless, it isn't looking particularly pretty for EDR.
Indeed. And he took a rack here. A rake.
Ooh,
And he took Kair too. Yeah.
friendly snuggle there. Probably
think,
in the heat of battle trying to figure out what to do.
True. Headwill calls that a kiss or something. I can't remember his exact words, but for him it's a friendly kiss.
I at least call it a snuggle, but either of which will do fine.
And this Cerberus is
Look at this.
completely new. No problem.
Yeah, just look. You can just pound away at Enil. He has spent his repair. He's on fire. They're in irons. Kair needs to get out of there.
They're in the wind. They're in the wind here.
Yep. But if Enil can't put out that fire, which I deem unlikely, but we've seen stranger things happen.
True.
French kiss.
Do you think do you think they would go for a fire ship? We've seen
Suicide.
French do fire ships. They like it.
Fire ships are, they're interesting. They're very interesting. And if used correctly, they can cause so much damage. It's actually quite difficult to see if the fire is spreading or not.
Let me have a look. I'll have a look for you.
It's just too dark. I can't distinguish it. Oh, that was actually bad pun there as well. Distinguish.
I can see the fire right now.
Yeah, it's getting smaller, so he at least is on survival.
Yeah, he is indeed.
If I saw it correctly, Enil just lost 30 crew in the last broadside he took. It's game set and match for Enil. Pierre has sunk before him, and now it's a 3 versus 1 situation for Kair, who I think by this time is also out of doubles and charge. I'd be surprised if he still has it.
I wouldn't expect him to have them at that point, especially since they did engage in very close range and went for the hull. So.
What would actually be interesting to see if Kair can maybe force one of the enemies to at least get his repair on the way.
Yeah.
Because Kair is quite healthy. Let's not underestimate how healthy he still is.
Indeed he is. And he hasn't repaired.
Exactly. Seems like Tiedemann is just gonna go the long way around, taking his time, and maybe at this point pop his repair, just to get in and do the DPS that is needed. Not a broadside coming in on Kair. Yeah, the carronades are gonna leave a mark. Actually, looking at Tiedeman's position, I think he's just fine at a distance at this point. Just, yeah, let Shaftos do the work for him and let Loktar come in behind Kirib.
Yeah. Has he repaired yet? Yeah, he did. When he left a bit earlier, did he repair at that point?
Tiedemann?
Yeah.
Don't think so, actually.
Okay. But he's
And
just taking no risks, staying behind.
I don't know. He actually might have, because he's being so passive. Because I would have just repaired and got back in. It seemed like the most logical move. I don't know. It could be mistaken. Could have missed it, or could have forgotten. That's also not a possibility. Thing is, I don't doubt that Kirib will do like proper damage, land a lot of broadsides. I don't doubt his abilities for a second. He's just in a situation where he's that hard outnumbered that it's gonna be impossible for him to utilize whatever, you know, PvP perk or advantage he has from experience at this point.
Indeed, and well, he has he's outnumbered but outgunned too, and meaning not only more guns, but those carronades punch really hard against his longs. Even you said it, he could make he could make it at some point and manage something out, but he'll probably have a hard time sinking at least one Trink and one Cerberus to make a tie here.
Pretty helm there, by the way.
What?
Sorry, I was looking at the steering wheel of a ship, the helm.
Oh.
Never noticed it actually before. Looks gorgeous.
Yeah, it does.
Slight distraction there. But yeah, Loktar is fine. Loktar doesn't even need to worry about taking damage. He can just ram Kirib and meh. Probably doesn't even care.
I'm surprised Kirib is still so healthy, in fact.
Well, yeah.
Is he angling? Or, how did he manage to take so few damage in the past 5 minutes? Oh yeah, there he took damage.
He angled himself quite well in a few broadsides, and it seemed like not everything penetrated, which is a shame. For at least RDNN attempt, but that's good for Kirib. Angling is like half the job, right? Especially with guns that you know are prone to bounce.
Exactly. That's the entire tactics about frigates, about most boats, in fact, most ships, but angling the right way and knowing when to turn and not too fast, because if you do it too fast, they won't fire. If you do it too slow, well, you'll have the wrong angle.
I've seen Kirib go for several stern rakes in a row, and that's one of the things that I like about this tournament. It has brought forward that stern raking, for example, is a bit underwhelming at this point. As in, if I'm in a frigate and I can choose to either take it on my sides or my stern, 9 out of 10 will just show you my stern, because I can't sink that way. You kill maybe 10, 20 crew, knock out 1, maybe 2 cannons.
Indeed.
I'll take that. If that means I can get 1 into your sides, I'll take that. I'll take it any day.
If he has I was going to say shrapnel. If you have grapes charged in there, would you do it? If you knew he had grapes, would you show him?
Yeah.
The same way. You would?
Yeah, but
I'm not sure I would.
Well, you know how stern raking works. It's as soon as you shoot the stern, you just need to ensure that he shoots it at a slight angle, right?
True. Yeah.
If I were to sail directly in a T shape behind you, so I can shoot over the entire length of the ship, it will do proper damage. even in the current model, it'll do significant damage. Just 9 out of 10 times there will just be a slight angle, meaning your cannonballs will travel like 2-3 meters into the stern and then they'll just bounce off a side. That's effectively what happens. And even with Grape, it's in the current model there's room for just shooting Grape even at the side and it'll do damage, albeit maybe 8 or 10 or 12 guys. If in a failed stern rig you'll do like 15 or 20, that's a risk I'm willing to take, because you can shoot Grape either way. It's just about how you do it. But if I don't know what you have loaded and it turns out to be Grape, it's still an efficient intermediary. I think that's the best way of phrasing it.
Indeed. I feel like grabbing the other ship when it's a frigate combat is indeed the way you said it, quite complicated, and it won't give you as much benefit as just aiming for the hull. However, grapes really shine when you have agile ships versus bigger and less maneuverable ships.
Mm-hmm.
There, you can make them shine. So yeah, it's hard call on a frig versus frig, and you will probably end up sunk before you can even benefit from those crew kills you did.
Exactly. So currently we're just watching tragic end to a fight. Because I don't know, I was expecting a bit of a different play. I'm not sure why. Because not that I doubt the ability of EDR in any way or shape, it's just we've seen 6 attempts by now of people trying to run downwind and kite, and eventually just force into combat. I'm not saying that's it's something they do poorly or anything, I'm just saying that it has shown several times now in a row that if you don't do it perfectly, you're just gonna get punished. And so far I think only one team managed to do it, or maybe 2 that managed to do it good enough, but the another 5-6 just couldn't make it. One guy got caught up, they just bled too much speed, and yes, Toms, the rest of EDR has sunk. I think Tom's just tuned in.
Yeah, he's now in a pretty bad situation. He popped his repair, that's for sure.
He popped in a minute ago, but whilst he was repairing, he was just receiving broadsides by shafters, I think it was.
And Tiedemann and Lochtar are getting on his bad side.
Well, theoretically, right? If Tiedemann has found this repair, which I think he hasn't, then he still has to get through Lochtar and Shaftos, because Shaftos for sure has his repair. Although I must say it's a valiant last stand.
He did get shaft.
It was 3 or 2 versus 1 for 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes, give or take. And he's just blasting away.
He's giving all he got, and that's a good spirit.
Exactly. There's no point in quitting. We're in this as a team. One for all for one.
That's the Three Musketeers, in fact.
I figured it was suitable.
It is.
Shaftos got stuck in the wind initially, it seems like. And look at those shots into his side. Those were carronades, he would have been dead twice over. And they would have been bigger.
I wonder if he's gonna manage to get these points, these BR points from this from shaft. If he does, well, it's losing, but getting a few BRs for when you'll need them it's a good thing. You know, you always need BR at the end. So, well, not
True.
always, but
To be
especially when you
honest,
lose.
I think Shaftos and Tiedemann got pumps, etc., and they are in no way, I think, in danger of sinking. Um,
Yeah, it's a possibility indeed.
at least for us, also nice to see that it was at least a good fight. Both teams went all in, but I assume that the GG from Karib into the gate is impending doom, but it could be wrong.
It may, it may.
While looking at a ship, I don't think it'll.
One rule we don't give enough, maybe we should remind them each time we launch a match, is you are in fact able to surrender, you know, just say, stop guys, I surrender. You will give your BR to the enemy team, so it's exactly as if you sunk, but you are able to keep your ship. So, you know,
True.
it's...
Your officer, you mean? But what is good to know is why don't people surrender as well? People like to fight until they start to sink,
Indeed.
and
indeed.
as soon as you take water, obviously you can't surrender anymore.
Yeah.
So either you fight till the death, and you can't surrender, or you surrender before you have fought to the death, which I don't know, just in my eyes feels just doesn't sound right to me. You know, if
Sure.
you're in this to get the BR of the enemy team down, you might as well go all in, sacrifice the ship.
It looks more heroic, in fact. I like the idea of sinking with my ship.
I don't think people know what surrender means. Surrender is a feature in the game, which means you just lower your flag. It means you forfeit the fight. A result of that is that the enemy does get your ship and does get everything that was in your ship normally. It's just you save your crew, which normally costs money to replace, and it also saves your officer, which has an X amount of durabilities at this point, and it allows you to utilize this officer at a later stage. Because maybe in the future, I don't know, it'll be harder to rank him up, therefore harder to just replace like that. But that's merely guessing. Surrender is something that will be look some nice backward sailing by Locked Up, by the way. And this is the end of the match. RDNN versus EDR is a 3-2-0 victory for RDNN. Alright. Since it's especially late for me, I'm gonna cut off the stream at this point. I'm gonna hit the bed. So.
And thanks for streaming still, and I'll see you tomorrow or the day after for more streaming, I hope.
Who's next up?
Good question. Next up is probably going to be... Wait, it has been cancelled, it seems, so I don't know. I'm not sure about the next one.
I see a match planned for the 11th. Wow.
Oh yeah, the 11th, right, it's here.
Um,
Yeah, that's we're not sure yet, it's pending.
Wait, and I know Das has played one match, I just don't know who they played. Oh yeah, that's the top one, sorry. It's Kin.
No.
Just to recap for the guys, Group A has 2 matches to go, Group B has 5 to go, C has 2 matches to go, of which 1 is questionable. D has 5 matches to go, Group E is done. Let me just pull up the tournament roster. In Group E, We have LG and SLRN advancing to the next round, followed by Group F, which has 5 matches, of which one is on the 11th. Then we have Group G, who has 3 matches to go, and we have Group H that has... oh no, that's done as well, and Ugly and PODW are to advance to the next round. Do you have anything to add to that? Or...
Not me. Everything's good for me.
Alright, in that case, I'm gonna cut it off here, guys. Thank you for watching, and hopefully the next match is at a bit earlier time for me. So,
Bye bye,
yeah,
Steel.
take care.